Hey everybody, welcome back again to another video. So 3 has finally answered all of our demands about I guess really just talking, in general about what's next for Halo Infinite after about a 3 or 4 month silence, but hey, it's better late than never, so let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm here to answer 2 questions on top of the mind. What is the Halo Infinite team working on, and when can we expect new content features? I'll start with a brief answer to get into more detail as we go on. As we get focused Season 2, the focus of the team is Priority 1, addressing issues negatively impacting the game, completing Season 2, and delivering it as promised. In number 3, continuing to work on campaign co-op, Forge in Season 3. We also have a Priority 0 that undergirds everything we do, namely Team Health, with an emphasis on getting ourselves in a sustainable development rhythm so that we can deliver a great experience to all of you, while keeping a healthy work/life balance. That is a good thing. Priority 0 means that we sometimes move slower so that we can move faster later. That's actually a smart thing, so I gotta give him credit for that. Frankly, these last 3 months have been slower than we expected, as I said before, and we sincerely thank you for your patience as we stay true to priorities above. Now let's get into Priority 1. Since the launch of Halo Infinite, we have been carefully tracking and analyzing all critical issues negatively impacting player experience with the game. In support and services, the internal name we have it is Hot List. Every week, they refresh it with new insights and review issue prioritization in progress. It serves as a vital internal planning tool for our monthly development sprints, as well as the hotfixes, content updates, and seasons we deliver. Some of the issues on hotfix are gaps in the experience that we only fully understood close to launch, and were unable to address acceptable quality bar before shipment. An example of this is known hotlist issues Spartan Career, aka score-based player progression. Others were vulnerabilities in our anti-cheat systems and problems with BTB, which they have fixed to BTB matchmaking. They're still working on anti-cheat, as they said, in the next paragraph. Like some, partial improvements, yeah, anti-cheat and BTB matchmaking, that is fixed. I can verify that. And others are in active development, but not yet released, like, Spartan Career, Co-op, and Forge. They're working on a public-facing version of the Hotlist similar to what they do in the Master Chief Collection, so that all of us will have a clear and constant window into the status of hotfix issues as we work to address them. Here's the name of Season 2, Lone Wolves. Here's a brief description. As a theme, we made a core idea that guides the creation of much, but not all of season content. Lone Wolf Spartans are hunters, trackers, the race for improvisers operating deep in enemy territory without resupplier support. They're fierce, rugged, prefer to work alone, but they're still a little Spartan pack. Here's an early peek at 2 of these, as we can see below. Ta-da! Now then, we'll actually get to know these names, as we can see here. That's Spartan Sacred Eklund on the left, and Spartan Hayudangas, right? I think I said that right. Correct me if I'm wrong. You'll learn more about them and spend more time with Spartan Commander Lornette Agnew as you dive into Season 2 story. A mix of cinematic story-based events bypass items and more than embody the Lone Wolf's theme. Story content for multiplayer, huh? So that kind of makes sense with what Staten said a few months back. Anyway, like I said, not all season content is directly tied to it. A prime example of this is our free fracture armor for Season 2. Here's the concept of that core, and we cannot wait to show you all the options for it. And for the free Lone Wolf's armor core. As we can see right here, I gotta say, it looks pretty nice. As you can see, like on the chest plate on the left, you could actually see kind of like I believe like the UNSC logo on it, or at least a variation of it. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, moving on. Alright, moving on. During Season 2, we'll also be shipping playlist updates, balance changes, new modes, and maps. Specifically, one arena map called Catalyst, and one P2P map named Breaker, which they've given images of each. The new modes also include Last Spartan Standing, a free-for-all elimination mode, so I guess the free-for-all version of Attrition, maybe? As well as another new mode called Land Grab, plus the return of an updated all-time favorite mode, King of the Hill. Here's Catalyst, and here's the Beatmap. I gotta say, both seem pretty interesting, so it's gonna be one of each. I guess at least for now, but maybe that'll change in as we go on. And here's Tactical Ops. We'll get more into that later. Priority 3. We're making great progress on campaign network co-op, and to be clear, this work has been occurring in parallel to Season 2 work and has our work on Forge, but the reality is that it's going to take more time to land a high-quality, full-featured, 4-player network co-op experience in this massive wide open world of Halo Infinite. We're also committed to a great 2-player split-screen co-op experience on all Xbox consoles, from the original Xbox One through Xbox Series X, and the non-linear wide open section of the campaign prevents some big challenges for a split screen that have taken us more time to solve. Yeah, I kind of expected that when they announced the delay. All this means that we will not be able to ship campaign network co-op on May 3rd at the start of Season 2, but they are still aiming to deliver campaign co-op later in Season 2, and we will share a release date that and for split screen co-op as soon as we can. Maybe a E3 reveal maybe? Anyway. We are also making great progress on Forge. Indeed, we are already flying in Forge, a small group of community creators, and working closely with them to ensure that all of you have a terrific experience sharing, browsing, and playing Forge content. In the near future, we will continue privately flight Forge as we develop and also planning for public flights later this year. We still have the goal of shipping Forge with Season 3. Speaking of Season 3, while the majority of the team is tackling hot list items, shipping Season 2, and working on a campaign called Forge, there are also many folks already hard at work for Season 3. We'll be sharing additional details and specifics on all these development efforts at a later date. Importantly, we're not just planning to address hot list items that started seasons, similar to Season 1.1.1. That launched a little more than a week ago. We intend to ship fixes, features, and content in more agile ways during our seasons. And speaking of great seasonal content, not just Season 1, Tactical Ops starts next week. To get set for variants on Tactical Slayer mode on the new Mark 7 core variant rewards to earn. As I showed you before. So, there you go. So I guess variation Mark 5 coming in, baby. Finally. So, what do I think of all this? I'd say it's a pretty good media update. We finally got some new information. Finally something after, sure it's taken longer than, we wanted, but it's obviously, they obviously did, are doing the best they can. And this is the thing about kind of like, so I guess at the end of the day, like, we need to be patient, kind of like they said, it will come. So, like, for me, I haven't been playing the game as much, just because, there was really nothing to do after maxing out the battle pass and all that, but I'll be checking out the tactical ops next week. I definitely will. Hey, Mark 5, so finally, some of my favorite armor in the game, so I'll definitely be checking it out. So I guess anyway, to sum this video up, we need to be patient. It's coming. So it seems in the future they got good plans for the future. Hopefully sooner rather than later. There'll be plenty of content for us to play, and the game will continue to prosper. So at the moment, like, the game is a bit of a struggle, but with time, hopefully it can really make a comeback. Kind of like how MCC did. It seems to be in a similar shape to what Master Chief Collection was, for all those years. But back in 2018, that big update essentially revived MCC, and 343 started doing the live service aspects. So I'm kind of glad that they came out with this update finally. So I think it was enough. As for a campaign co-op not being at the start of Season 2, it is what it is. So especially because not until recently, they started working back in the office. But it is what it is. So this is kind of like why I kept saying that they should delay the game till like spring or whatever. But this is where we are now. So. What do you guys think of this blog post? I'll link the full blog post down in the description for you, so if you want to read through the full thing for yourself. So I mainly covered basically everything there is. So anyway, this is Halo Gaming signing out. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See you in the next video.